Senator Aquino.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, actually, those were also my questions for AMLC. I'd just like to ask Attorney Aguilar and Attorney Escanio because I asked this last week. Attorney Aguilar, you mentioned earlier, hindi pa tapos yung accounting ninyo, no? But you'll have it by next week.
Yes, Your Honor. In a week's time, Your Honor.
Attorney Escanio, were you able to complete your accounting of the 903 million?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We've actually submitted our report to the committee, and we've furnished more than sufficient copies, I think 10 copies. We will be accounting for the 100 million that was...
oh, sorry. Sa inyo yung 100 million? Kaya
Yes,
Attorney
Mr.
Aguilar yung 900 million?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Your Honor, if I may be allowed, in order to better understand and evaluate what happened to the 100 million, if I be allowed to briefly discuss how a junket works.
It will be up to the chairman, of course.
Yes, of course. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Do you want to do this now, Mr. Chairman, or in the next hearing? He can do it now or the next hearing.
This will be very brief, Your Honor.
Okay, please.
Okay. When we talk about a junket system, it is a system where junket operators market a specific casino from abroad, particularly in China. They bring in players into the casino, into a specific junket room to play high roller style, okay? And they operate with junket agents who are the ones who invite these high rollers from abroad. Now, when a junket agent comes into the Philippines, let's say into the Soler Casino and a specific junket like Gold Moon, they deposit a certain amount of money, like for example 100 million. Now these 100 million are converted into what you call non-negotiable dead chips. By non-negotiable dead chips, it is meant that these chips may not be encashed. The only way for you to deal with these chips is to play with them and to lose them in the casino. Now, you probably would say, well, if I'm going to lose them, then why would I want them? When a player plays in a junket, for example, he bets 1 million, he puts in a non-negotiable dead chip of 1 million. If he loses, the chip is taken by the bank. But if he wins, the dead chip is returned to him, and his winnings are returned in terms of cashable chips. So what happens is that the player would try to accumulate as much cash chips.
Yung attorney. So that means, yung puhunan na non-negotiable, nasa inyo pa.
I'm going to that.
Okay,
Mr.
go ahead.
Chair.
Go ahead.
So, having said that, as far as Gold Moon Junket is concerned, on February 10, the Gold Moon Junket account was credited by Soler 100 million worth of non-negotiable chips, now representing the deposits of junket agent Ding Zichi and Ding Haibin. We must stress that Gold Moon did not receive any cash, but merely non-negotiable chips. Now, the foreign junket agents now went to Gold Moon Junket and opened an account. Before junket players can play in the junket, they have to have an account, okay, where all the transactions are recorded. Now, Mr. Ding Jise and Ding Haibin, through their junket players, identified as Mr. Wang Xin and Mr. Ting Pan Pan. These are players duly manifested with Soler, played at Gold Moon using Gold Moon non-negotiable chips. And they played for 3 days, specifically February 10, February 11, and February 16. Now, at the end of 3 days, the total cash chips that were withdrawn, meaning cashable chips, was pegged at 34,200,000. The total amount cashed at Gold Moon, meaning chips that were converted and withdrawn as cash, was 7,540,000. Now, there was around 67 million worth of dead chips. They were taken from the cage of Gold Moon by the players, and they were not returned. We don't know where they are. Now, in the 3 days that they played, the players actually had aggregate winnings. They won 8,740,000. In other words, pesos, Mr. Chair. In other words, they actually won instead of lost in the casino. So that is our report and accounting as to the 100 million. And if you need clarification,
Okay, attorney, so may natira bang dead chips sa inyo?
Wala po, kasi
Wala.
po, everything was withdrawn from the cage.
Okay. So they withdrew 67 million pesos worth of dead chips, which they cannot use anywhere else except your junket operator, right?
Yes.
Yes. Would you be able to track those chips if they are used again in your casino? Or you cannot track that anymore?
Well, I believe there would be some difficulty because the chips, although specific, do not have any tracking
Markings. So wala mang, I mean, it's what we
There
imagine a
are
chip
markings, but you have to understand they don't have any RFID or anything
Exactly,
of that
yeah.
sort. Yes.
to be. May serial numbers ba yung chips?
I have not entered their junket.
Yes. So that can be tracked, technically speaking. So maybe the first thing is, can we get your cooperation that if these chips are used again, that they will be held? No, I mean that's the first. You don't have to.
To the best of the ability of my client. Your
Okay.
Honor.
So yun yung una, 67 million that was withdrawn. That won't ever be used again except in your account. So technically, you still have 67 million in your bank, in your account, because they were converted to chips.
No, Your Honor, because as we mentioned, there was no cash involved. There was only a credit of non-negotiable chips.
Yes,
The
but
physical,
a physical chip, meron ka bang gayang pera, di ba?
Your Honor, may I suggest, in order to enlighten the committee, that we can request Soler to describe how the whole thing works in terms of crediting.
Okay, no, I don't know if Mr. Tan wants to answer, no, but my question is very simple. Before I get the chips, kailangan kong bilhin yan with money, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
So may 67 million na kinuha na technically useless na yan, di ba? Kasi kung di nyo tatanggapin, useless na yan, which means may 67 million pa rin nakabangga nung perang yon in some account somewhere. Isn't that right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, but it's not with your institution. It's not with your institution.
It's credited to the account of Gold Moon, but not in terms of the physical possession of the cash.
Yes, but
It's just there in the account.
it's in an account. So technically, you could withdraw that, di ba?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
It's not the money, Mr. Chair. Those are just the value of the chips is there, but the physical equivalent or the money is not with Gold Moon.
No, I know, but the value, there is
The
a
value is-
67
the value
million
is there.
peso value somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, where is it? In what account? Oh, sige, Mr. Wong, go ahead.
Sir, when they buy the chips, they buy in the main case of Soler. So Soler will issue the non-negotiable chips. So
Okay.
they will play it there. So
Okay.
when they go back, they back to the Soler.
So nasa Soler po yung
You can ask
67 million value, Attorney Tan? Is that right?
Your Honor, the chips were purchased from Soler.
Yes.
So yes, we're responsible to pay for when the chips are returned to us. In our books, the 100 million was deducted and transferred to Gold Moon.
So nabili na, in short.
Yeah, that's correct. Where are the chips? And to answer, Your Honor, yung question whether the chips can be tracked, the non-negotiable chips ng Gold Moon is the same as the non-negotiable chips that they also issue to many of their other players. So we will not know which of the chips were given to the Ding group as distinguished from other junket players ng Gold Moon kasi the chips are the same.
Nasabi ho, attorney, na merong serial number yung mga chips.
There are security features, Your Honor, but we don't keep track. When they're given a bundle of chips, which is the same as other bundle of chips that are given to
Are there
others.
unique numbers in the chips, or there are no unique numbers in the chips?
I believe they have numbers, Your Honor, but they are not tracked when they are given, 100
No,
million worth.
they are not tracked,
Same.
and can they be tracked are two different questions, no? So they're not tracked, I think that's clear. Can they be tracked with looking at the serial number? Meaning, unique po ba yung serial number sa bawat chip, or hindi po yan unique?
Sandali. Your Honor, I was informed they cannot be tracked.
Kasi walang unique markings per chip.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, this goes back to my question in the previous hearing, no? Kung sila po ay part nitong hacking or this theft that happened, they withdrew that, they could actually just sell that to other people and let them go back to the casino. Is that right? And we wouldn't know anymore. Or are those chips really tracked and managed by Soler properly?
Now, the example given, Your Honor, Gold Moon non-negotiable chips. So anyone who will enter the Gold Moon junket room, they're regular clients, junket clients, for example. If we will not be able to know whether that particular chips they will be
Came
playing
from that transaction.
From the same group. Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right, Attorney Escanio?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Unless you start issuing new chips to everyone. I mean, there are ways to do it, I'm sure. Kasi all of those chips, may account po yan nakabangga. If you issue all the chips to your junkets, if you issue new chips based on how much money is in their account, mabubukod yung mga lumang chips, di ba? There's a way to do it. Kasi it's so hard for me to accept na wala na, di ba? Parang that's what we're saying eh. Wala na, it's good as gone, no? When in fact, maybe with a little more effort, we can still track it. Did you consider that, Attorney Escanio? What if you issued new chips to the valid and official, ano ba, yung mga players ninyo na hindi walang kinalaman dito? Is that possible?
Mr. Chair, that I believe that is within the sound business judgment of the junket operator.
Okay.
I have not been given any particular information
But
regarding
in
that.
short, what you're saying is wala nang pera with you, right?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
But for me, no, as long as chips are out there with your name on it, then you're still partly responsible in one form or the other, no? Attorney Aguilar, in your case, wala pa kayong accounting na ganito, no? Kasi sa inyo yung mas malaki, 900 million.
Yes, Your Honor. Basically, pareho lang naman yung
sitwasyon.
Mas malaki lang ho yung amount na na-issue.
Okay. But in your initial investigation, lumabas ba na nakuha na rin lahat ng chips o meron pa kayong chips na hawak-hawak?
Actually, sir, ang inabutan, sa alam ko po ngayon, parang kino-contest, hindi man kino-contest pa. Hindi pa rin sila nagtatali dun sa sinasabi ng Soler na 903 million ng...
Okay. So you're even
Dun pa lang
contesting
sa
that fact.
Doon pa lang sa base, meron natang problema.
Okay, but I'm more interested to know kung may natitira pa. Meron pa bang natitirang pera? I mean, yung 900 galing po yun sa Soler ba yun, no? Galing sa Soler yung 900 million?
Kasi po,
Attorney Tan?
Yes, Your Honor, we have records
Okay.
showing that they've been transferred
Okay.
to...
Just for the record, no? Attorney Aguilar, kayo po, yung accounting ninyo, magkano pa po yung natitira?
Your Honor,
Magkano po yung naipasok pala? Sorry.
Your Honor, I think ang parang nasa 700 pa lang ngayon.
Let's
So,
assume-
tinatrace, hindi naman ho kami nagko-contest.
Let's assume 700, no? Of the 700 million, may natitira pa po ba sa accounts ninyo or sa chips or whatever?
I don't have that information right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the accounting.
So you'll provide that next week, no?
Next week, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to have a simple question pero humaba. Attorney Abad, my question before, no? Is it a defense or pag sinabi ng third party, kasi they are third parties and sometimes fourth parties pa, no? Third party, pumasok na sa sistema namin yan na nabili na ng chips or na ano na. I mean, is that a defense in terms of keeping this money from AMLC, for example, or in the civil forfeiture case, kaya pa ring habulin kahit nilaro na sa casino?
Kaya pa rin, Your Honor.
That's within our laws.
Yes,
And
Your Honor.
are we in line with international laws as well? Hindi yun unique sa Pilipinas, no? Most international anti-money laundering law says that you can claim that money back.
Yes, Your Honor. Wherever the money went, we can recover it
You can recover it to the best of our ability,
to
no?
the best of our ability.
Okay, so meaning, kung in-encash na, kunyari, these players, and by the way, Mr. Chairman, the players, we haven't even discussed those players yet, kung ano yung complicity nila. Pag in-encash na, obviously, wala na yun dun sa institution. But if there's still money left in the institution, pwede pa rin mahabol yun, no?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So for example, if there's 67 million na chips, but may kabanggayo na 67 million in cash somewhere, you could still go after that cash, right?
Yes, Your Honor. And in fact, even if the cash is no longer there, we can run after the other assets of the person which received the money or the value.
Even if they're not proven to be part of the theft? Or they have to be part of the theft?
I mean, if the original monies, no longer there or no longer available, we can run after other assets of the person,
Or institution?
the equivalent value.
Okay, but, sige, hypothetically, kung wala ka namang kinalaman sa pagdanakaw, mahahabol mo pa rin ba yung ari-arian ko just because dumaan sa akin? I also don't know the answer. I'm very interested to know.
Well, if it can be proven, Your Honor, that the money was received by that person, it came to his or her possession, then that can be recovered, Your Honor.
That can be recovered, whether may kinalaman siya dun sa theft o hindi.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so meaning if these institutions, and of course, kung talaga namang wala silang kinalaman, you're saying that pwede pa ring mahabol yung pera sa kanila?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, and as you mentioned to Chairman Guingona, you'll be filing these cases soon. Kasama po itong civil forfeiture case.
That is what we are filing, Your Honor, a petition for civil forfeiture.
Okay,
Within the
apart
week.
from the charges on the violations in the Anti-Money Laundering Act.
Apart for criminal complaint against other persons who have been involved, Your Honor.
Okay. Can we file charges of theft, for example? Or because it is not Philippine money, we cannot file charges na theft yung kaso? Kasi ang alam ko, we're only filing anti-money laundering, di ba? Pero may pagnanakaw na nangyari. Can we actually file for theft?
If ever there was theft, Your Honor, it's not the AMLAC which will file the appropriate criminal complaint, Your Honor. If theft was committed abroad, or let's say in the U.S. or in Bangladesh, then the case has to be filed there, but not in the Philippines. What we are investigating and prosecuting here is the money laundering aspect, Your Honor.
All right, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Osmena.
Attorney Escanio,
Yes,
hindi ko
Mr.
makita
Chair.
yung nameplate mo. Who are you representing?
Representing
Miss
Miss Chang
Lai-
Lai Fong,
Sino yun?
junket operator of Gold Moon.
Okay. you have junket operator and junket agents. Do you have junket anything else? Dalawa lang yun.
Dalawa lang po.
Maraming junketeer sa Congress eh. So, hindi kasama ho. Okay. Now, the junket operators, yan po ang kasosyo ng bangko. Di ba? In other words, they have an arrangement with the casino na parang 60-40.
They basically rent the room in the casino, and they cater
Silang
to
bangka.
high rollers.
Pero sino nagbabangka? No, you rent a room in the casino. You don't come here if you can afford to just conduct a poker game in Shanghai or anywhere else. Siyempre, ang nagbabangka dyan yung casino.
The junket operator.
Yung junket operator, ang mga bankero. Mr. Kim Wong, can you answer that question, please?
Sir, pagka junkie po, 52 sa,
Casino.
opo, 52.5, tapos 4.7.5 sa junket operator.
Okay, so pera mo yon para ikaw ang casino.
Hindi po.
Partner sa...
Partner lang po. Pareho po kayo operator po. Pareho kayo bangka po.
Pareho kayo nga bang
Opo.
partner?
Sir. Opo, partner po. Opo.
Alright. So, ang dead chips is really a control factor for the junket operator.
Opo.
Gagastos kayo, mangingimbita kayo ng player
Opo.
dito, ayaw mo naman na babayad kayo ng lahat yan at ng hotel room at ng pagkain, katapos hindi naman susugal, di ba?
Opo.
So, garantisado na isusugal nila yung pera na ipadala nila
Opo.
at siguro pa iikutin yan mga 6 times.
Opo, sir.
Paano mo binibilang yung 6 times?
Yung 6 times po, sir, bawal po panalo ng 1 milyon po, tagtaya 1 milyon, panalo 1 milyon. Yung light po, papalitan doon sa case ng chips. Tapos may computer, parang nagbabayad ka 7-Eleven, lumalabas mo, ito yung 1 million na was mo, 2 million na was mo. May isang papel ho yun.
So talagang binabantayan ninyo, binabantayan ng
Kasi-
junket operator
Opo.
na talagang sinusugal nila yan.
Opo.
So matatrack ninyo kung...
Matatrack po, sir.
Alright. Ngayon, pag may panalo, may winnings, makakas nila yung winnings.
Opo. Kasi makakaso din ang winnings, kailangan may main case ho ng suler, may confirmation din. Kasi makasosyo kayo eh.
Hindi po, pero ang halimbawa, anong kulay ng chip ng non-cashable chips? Ng dead
Sa gold mo, I think is green.
green, okay. Kunyari, may green ako. Pag may winnings ako, anong kulay ng chip?
Iba kulay na po. Square po, dead chips. Pagka nanalo, bilog na po.
Okay.
Opo.
So, yung bilog na yan, makakash ko pag nanalo ako.
Opo.
Okay.
Opo.
Yung square, hindi ko makakash.
Hindi po.
Now, at the end of 6 days, pinaikot ko na 6 times, meron pa akong square, isasaoli ko sa junket operator yon at siya magpapadala ng cash sa account ko, di ba?
Opo. Pero pagdating ng 6 times, wala na akong square yun. Kasi sigurado na po, ubos na eh. Alam niya po eh. Tinatabi na ho niya para maging cash na ho lahat. Di ba? One time, 1 million kaya mo, naging bilog na, tapos palit. Alam mo yung last, hindi mo na isusugal yung bilog. So pag matitira na yung light chip. So yun ay itatago na po niya.
Kunyari, may dead chips pa.
May dead chips ho, pwede po maging kaso, ibabawas. Kung ikukwenta ho, pag lalampas ka na ikot ho, babawas yung komisyon, magiging right na. Pwede po ikas.
Dapat naman pwede i-cash. Kunyari, bibigyan mo ako ng 1 million in chips.
Opo.
Kung matatalo ako, mga 200,000 down lang. Pero the rest of the week, mas swerte lang ako that week. So, every day, nananalo ako. May down, may up. Pero,
Hindi. Ang sinasabi
hindi
nyo,
sumasobra sa 200,000 ng...
opo, ang sinasabi nyo, kayo po nagdala lang cash. Binili mo cash.
Hindi. Binigay ko sa iyo yung pera. Galing ako China. Sinabi ko sa iyo, okay, magpapadala ako ng $1 million.
Opo.
Okay, so bibigyan mo ako dito ng 1 million in dead chips.
Opo.
Suppose I don't lose. I mean, and gambling up and down yan.
Opo.
Sometimes you're down
Opo.
500,000, sometimes you're up 500,000, di ba?
Opo.
Pero pwede naman na hindi maubos ang 1 million.
Opo, opo.
So, isasauli mo yan sa akin, ikakas mo yan.
Opo.
Saan mo kinakas yan? Dito sa Pilipinas o dun sa China?
Sa China na po.
Okay.
Kasi yung binigay niyo po 1 million sa akin, hindi ko pa ho pinapadala. Hinihintay ko matapos ko po kayo maglaro. Doon na ganun ano.
Net out mo na lang.
Opo, opo.
So, meron kang partner doon sa China na mag-aasikaso sa'yo.
Opo, opo. For example, di ba sabi nyo, natalo sa 500 natira. Pag nagkwenta ho, o yung 500 na kukunin ko, yung 500, babalik ko sa'yo. Sa China na po.
Okay.
Wala po dito.
Alright. Now, yung dead chips, control factor yan to protect the junket operator
To protect the junket operator and protect the agent.
and protect the
Yung
agent.
sino nagdala,
Now,
parang
if the
commission.
junket operator ang nagsabi, pwede na yan, huwag mo na isugal yan. Sasauli ko yung pera mo sa China. Okay rin yun, di ba?
Hindi po, siguro. Kasi wala siyang kita ko.
Hindi siya ganun. I'm saying that he has the discretion to do that. In a normal situation,
Wala ko tatanggap dun kasi debt eh. Kasi may table ka ho sa sulit, kailangan mag-roll ka 400 million per table eh. Naghahabog ka din ng customer. Kung hindi, may penalty ho kayo. Wala hong...
so binabantayan rin ng Soleria.
Opo. Nakikita po yun eh. Every day humitrack po yun eh.
Okay. So walang discretion ng junket operator
Wala po, wala.
na
Wala po gagawa.
Tama na, ayoko na.
Wala po.
Ha?
Wala po gagawa nun.
Walang gagawa nun, pero may discretion. I'm just asking if he has the power to cut the gambling, to stop the gambling of his customer. At sabihin niya, sige na, tama na. Umuwi ka na. Isasauli ko yung pera sa'yo.
Pwede po. Pero hindi makakas pag di ba? Hindi po. Pwede ho, kung gusto
Hindi,
naman
papadala ko, ibabalik ko dun sa Shanghai.
Opo.
O saan mo diniposito yung
Opo,
pera, di
pwede
ba?
po. Opo.
Okay. Kaya tinatanong ko yan,
Opo.
because if the money was the stolen money, pwede magpipretend, basta kasabot yung junket operator, pwede pumasok dito, tapos sabihin junket, sige na. Isugal mo lang yung 20% dyan, tapos isasauli ko yung pera sa iyo at the end of 6 days. Ganun lang yan eh. Di ba?
Opo, sir.
And it is possible, or is it possible, Miss Abad, na yung pera na ang nang ninakaw sa Bangladesh, hindi na pumasok dito sa Pilipinas? That they used what they would have gambled here as a substitute. In other words, tago mo na yung pera sa, let's say I'm the junket agent, tago mo na yung pera sa Shanghai. Anyway, you're going to send $81 million to the Philippines. So, eto na $81 million. Basta pagbalik ng pera, just give me $60 million. Sabihin mo, we won it in the casino in Manila. Pwede yan, di ba?
Well, that is a laundering scheme, Your Honor.
Pardon?
That is a laundering scheme. Exactly. Yes.
Yes. But physically, I'm saying that money that was stolen doesn't even have to physically come. The money that was stolen is in New York. It's with the account of RCBC. Of course, it's an electronic transfer to Manila. But the arrangement, wherever it was, in Shanghai or with the chief money launderer, could be that, eto na yung pera, whatever your winnings are from your $81 million na talagang isusugal naman ninyo sa Manila, sabihin mo, it was won by me. Diba? So, launder na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Manalastas, I understand you want to say something.
Yeah, I would like to make a correction regarding the interest of the junket operator. when he does what was said by Senator Osmena that, oh, let's just play 20% and that's it, let's stop. Sir, it's against the interest of both operator and the casino to do that, because why will you settle for the 20% when you can get the whole 100% as winnings? So it's contrary to the interest of the capitalista or the both operator and the casino.
Yes, but I'm not saying whether it's contrary to the interest or not. I'm saying it can be done. There is some discretion.
Sir, if he does that, how much is he to gain as compared to let's win all this instead of just a percentage?
No, you're looking at it from the perspective of a real gambler. I'm looking at it from the perspective of a money launderer. I'm saying that it's possible to do that. It's not in the interest. Yes, if it were a legitimate guy coming in, gambling, but if it was a money laundering operation, there is discretion. O, let's say I own the casino. Sabihin ko, okay na yan, sige. There is discretion. That dead chip is a control factor for the junket operator, the junket agent. As a matter of fact, the junket operator can tell the casino, sige na, just let it go. I'll give you 20%. But there is discretion. So that stupidity that your general manager says that it's impossible, that's not correct.
Sir, from the interest
Those dead chips are actually encashed again and the money is sent back. Kung ano naiwan. Theoretically, it should be zero. The casino would enjoy. Kung naiwan sa akin, zero. No? At the end of, after gambling 6 times. But so, some people do win, di ba? So what are you going to do? Meron akong 1 million in chips. Pagtalo ko every day, hindi naman sumosobra sa $200,000. You're not gonna confiscate that from me. It's still my money. I was lucky. I won. Di ba? So there is discretion also there.
Discretion on the part of the player, sir.
No, not on the part of the player. Discretion on the part of the junket operator, the junket agent. Pag sinabi nila, okay na yan. Di ba?
I don't think that has happened. Not unless that,
No, I'm not saying if
with what
it happened
Soler
or
has
not.
done
It's got
to
nothing
stop
to do
play
whether it
and-
happened or
and
not. There is
confiscate.
discretion. It can happen.
There's always the possibility. Your
No, that it can happen. That's not always the possibility. The possibility is if I didn't want to really gamble it, if there were already plans, it is possible. It is probable. They do have discretion. That's just to protect the junket operators na gagastos ako magpapadala sa kanila dito, matapos hindi pala magtataya ito. Kuning-kuning na may 1 million, pero unti-unti lang ang pag-gamble niya. That's my control factor. Huy. But if for some reason the guy is lucky, then he's left with a lot of dead chips at the end of the week. You cannot confiscate that. He retained that in a legitimate manner. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. The next hearing, we will see the messenger of PhilRem, Mr. Concon Bautista, and the accountant of PhilRem, next Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning. Until then, these hearings are hereby suspended.
Kausapin mo si Kimbo.
Sino po? Kimbo. Call the immigration people.
Nandito pa raw eh. The player. Nandito pa raw eh.
Sige, I'll find out.
It's up to you.
I'm going to that.
Okay,
Mr.
go ahead.
Chair.
Go ahead.
So, having said that, as far as Gold Moon Junket is concerned, on February 10, the Gold Moon Junket account was credited by Soler 100 million worth of non-negotiable chips, now representing the deposits of junket agent Ding Zichi and Ding Haibin. We must stress that Gold Moon did not receive any cash, but merely non-negotiable chips. Now, the foreign junket agents now went to Gold Moon Junket and opened an account. Before junket players can play in the junket, they have to have an account, okay, where all the transactions are recorded with them and to lose them in the casino. Now, you probably would say, well, if I'm going to lose them, then why would I want them? When a player plays in a junket, for example, he bets 1 million, he puts in a non-negotiable dead chip of 1 million. If he loses, the chip is taken by the bank. But if he wins, the dead chip is returned to him, and his winnings are returned in terms of cashable chips. So what happens is that the player would try to accumulate as much cash chips.
Yung attorney. So that means, yung puhunan na non-negotiable, nasa inyo pa.
I specific junket room to play high roller style, okay? And they operate with junket agents who are the ones who invite these high rollers from abroad. Now, when a junket agent comes into the Philippines, let's say into the Soler Casino and a specific junket like Gold Moon, they deposit a certain amount of money, like for example 100 million. Now these 100 million are converted into what you call non-negotiable dead chips. By non-negotiable dead chips, it is meant that these chips may not be encashed. The only way for you to deal with these chips is to play with, if I may be allowed, in order to better understand and evaluate what happened to the 100 million, if I be allowed to briefly discuss how a junket works.
It will be up to the chairman, of course.
Yes, of course. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Do you want to do this now, Mr. Chairman, or in the next hearing? He can do it now or the next hearing.
This will be very brief, Your Honor.
Okay, please.
Okay. When we talk about a junket system, it is a system where junket operators market a specific casino from abroad, particularly in China. They bring in players into the casino, into a...
Senator Aquino?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, actually, those were also my questions for AMLC. I'd just like to ask Attorney Aguilar and Attorney Escanio, because I asked this last week. Attorney Aguilar, you mentioned earlier, hindi pa tapos yung accounting ninyo, no? But you'll have it by next week.
Yes, Your Honor. In a week's time, Your Honor. From
Attorney
today.
Escanio, were you able to complete your accounting of the 903 million?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We've actually submitted our report to the committee, and we've furnished more than sufficient copies, I think 10 copies. We will be accounting for the 100 million that was...
Oh, sorry. Sa inyo yung 100 million? Kaya
Yes,
Attorney
Mr.
Aguilar
Chair.
yung 900 million?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Your Honor, if